Hello, my people. Welcome to the Kenyan American Home YouTube channel. If you're new here, welcome to my page. So here we talk about life in the USA. So, as an immigrant living in the USA now for 12 years, I pretty much give you my experiences, the good, the bad, and the ugly about, living in the USA. We talk about the opportunities in the USA. We talk about the struggles in the USA. How is life in the USA? And, it's a hot pot of topics. And so I try as much as possible, to make sure that I dig in, do my research before I bring you the material. So if you haven't already done that, please hit the subscribe button and then hit that notification bell and you'll get notified every time I upload a video. So today we're going to talk about remote jobs. And, I decided to start this series, and this will be like the first episode of the series where we'll be highlighting remote job opportunities in, whether in the US or whether you're outside. And so we'll kind of, what I'll do is I want to just zone in and focus on specific topics. So instead of just talking about remote jobs in general, I'm just gonna be talking about, a remote job and highlighting more, giving you links, giving you more information about that, whether you're new to that remote job or whether you've been doing that remote jobs, just dissecting and talking about that. So today, in the first episode of remote jobs in the USA, what we're going to be talking about, tax preparation. I know that just before you scroll away, before you leave the channel, I know this is, when people hear about taxes, they often want to run away. And there's a lot of misconceptions about taxes. And so, you just heard tax prep and tax preparation and you just want to go away. And I just want to encourage you to stay and learn, because it's not really what you think. So, you do not have to be a CPA to practice tax preparation in the USA. And then 2, you don't even have to have the expertise. You can just come in as, as a fresh, you're just a fresh, you just want to learn. You just want to start from scratch and you want to build this as a career. So that's what we're going to be talking about. We're going to be talking about remote tax prep. And, you don't even have to be preparing the taxes, because there's other opportunities too that, that go along with preparing taxes. Because it could be that you could start learning how to prepare taxes, but you could also, there's also opportunities that go along to help the tax preparer, to help the tax expert, do his job. And so there's jobs about receiving calls. There's jobs about, dealing with products. There's jobs that are not necessarily, they don't necessarily have to do with the IRS and crunching in the numbers and helping people get standard deductions. And when you talk about taxes, people make faces. People want to run away. People don't want anything to do with the IRS. So, but no. Today, I'm going to break down for you the opportunities that are available. And I'm going to do this from a personal perspective because I am a CPA in the USA. And, I have a personal experience in doing, a remote job, a working from home tax, a tax expert remote job working with Intuit, which is, they call it, Intuit, but their product is TurboTax. And so I'm going to be giving you more information on that, and we'll start unpacking. So let's start here. If you've already prepared taxes for people, and this is just an opportunity that you want to go along with, I can start to give you, because we'll start with people who are seasoned in tax preparation. And so if this is not your first day preparing taxes for people, and you've always done that, and you're looking for maybe opportunities to be able to do it remotely, I've done it with TurboTax, and I did it for about 3 tax seasons. And I say this because this was really not. I had to stop doing it just because I had so many things going on in my life, because my family, but also works, other side hustles and stuff. And so I had to kind of cut one thing out of my life. And unfortunately, that was TurboTax. But it was a really good experience, because what you do, I worked with TurboTax as a tax expert. when you file your taxes through TurboTax, they always say speak to a tax expert. And because I'm a CPA, they gave me the opportunity to work, so people call in and they ask tax questions and you help them along. And one of the good things about working with TurboTax is and all these other opportunities that I'm going to talk to you about is they give you tax training. They give you tax training, and not only do they do that, if it's your first time, they'll bring people, whether it's they'll bring people, supervisors and people around you, tax experts around you. If you have any questions, you can always send in your questions. If a customer asks you a question that you have no idea how to answer, you have people. You have like a team of people who will help you through a lot, along with that. And even if, the jitters of taking your first call or, your first month or something, they'll have someone to walk you through that. And so they give you ample training about taxes, their systems, but they also help you along when you start to work. So as a tax expert, one of the good things I really loved about working for TurboTax is the flexibility of working from home. So all they did is, they just required me to have a good Wi-Fi. They sent me a laptop, sent me everything that I needed, my cameras and everything, the whole setup, and they help you through that, and you just set it up. So pretty much what I would do, it's very flexible. Is the next thing is you just go pick up any flexible hours that you have, and you can do that, and it's very flexible. It can start from doing it part-time. But also, if there's nothing else that you're doing, you can do this full time. So for me, because I had a 8 to 5, I was just doing this on the evenings. So I would just, go home, and instead of watching TV, I would log in for like 2-3 hours, and you do that and you get like 20 hours, a week. The good thing about that is they started me, at a good rate. Like the first year I started, I think they gave me like, what is it? Like $25 an hour. It's not too bad. $25 an hour is not too bad, but it also depends with their experience. Because when I started to do that, I didn't have very much experience. So if you come in with a lot of experience, then they pay you even more. So, but the awesome thing about working for TurboTax is, you put in a lot of hours. So they have peak hours and then they have off-peak hours. So if you're able to work as much as possible during the peak hours, you work towards qualifying for a bonus. Which is it's a very, I think it's a very good bonus when you think about it, because of the 3 tax seasons that I worked with them, I got a bonus of about $9,000 US, and that's for working for from January to April. And this was just a side hustle for me. This was just a part-time thing. $9,000 US for as a bonus on top of what they're paying you. But then not only that is there's other benefits that go along with your salary. All of a sudden is so they have a 401k that they match. They have like employee stock purchase plans. They have employee assistance programs. They have paid sick leave, and this is just for a remote job. That's actually really nice. And so when I put in my experience together working for TurboTax, I mean, I would tell you, it's like, if I had the time, I would still be doing it. But just because there's so many things that are going on in my life, I had to cut it out. And so I'm bringing this opportunity to you because I believe, it's one of those things, whether you want to do this on a full-time basis or you want to do this part-time, it's really cool. Okay. So TurboTax has, they have like 3 main positions that are available to them, that are available to you. So there's a tax expert, and so you have to be a CPA or an enrolled agent. A CPA is a certified public accountant. And then there's a tax associate. And then there's, if you're bilingual, if you speak Spanish, you're bilingual and you have a CPA, they also have kind of a separate position for that. So I'm just focusing on TurboTax right now. But then, there's a variety of other companies that are available, a variety of other positions that are available. But because we were zoning in on, Intuit TurboTax, let's kind of just do an overview of these 3 positions. So the first position is a tax associate, and this is a work from home position. So it's a completely remote position. And, they require like a minimum of 3 tax seasons with like a minimum of 30 tax returns that you prepared, prior tax experience in a, whether it's in a tax practice or a retail setting. So, like a Jackson Hewitt, H&R Block, strong customer service skills. And they also help you in, they offer a program to help you obtain your EA. EA is enrolled agent, which is also what I'm going to talk about. So you can totally like start this as just a seasonal job, and then you can turn it around into a huge career, which is an EA. An EA is an enrolled agent. And for you to be an EA, so this is EA, you get credentialed by the IRS. So you have to there's no particular requirement of you have to have a bachelor's degree or something, and so you can start from scratch, work your way, and as long as you're able to pass that EA exam, and as long as you pass a background check and the IRS credentials you, you can even start your own practice of preparing taxes for people. And so I'm just gonna I'll talk you through if this is my first day and you don't have any experience in tax preparation. I'll walk you through that. What are some of the ways that you can be able to build that? So, and then the other thing is the requirement of to be a tax the tax associate is some knowledge of some tax laws, 1040 Form 1040 concepts, which is the individual tax return, and then you need a PTIN, which is offered by the IRS. And then there's the tax expert position, where obviously you have to be a CPA, and for you to be a CPA, you have to have 3 or more years of experience in preparation of tax returns and all that stuff. So that is just into it. That is just TurboTax. Let's walk through. If you're listening to this video and you're in the US and you're wondering, how can I start? How can I start my journey? I've never, I don't have a bachelor's degree in accounting. I don't have a CPA. I don't have experience work. I've never prepared a tax in my life. How can I start? And the IRS, which is actually the Internal Revenue Service, which is the Internal Revenue Service pretty much manages the taxes. That's where, when people file their taxes, the IRS, Internal Revenue Service, kind of pretty much manages and, audits, overviews the whole process. So the IRS actually offers you an opportunity to start like from zero. And this opportunity is in terms of IRS tax volunteers. And so you can start to volunteer to help people in the community to prepare taxes. So I remember when I was in college, one of the opportunities that came up was helping, older people who don't have the ability to, take their taxes to a CPA, helping the people who need help, like international students or people who don't have the tax knowledge and experience or even the money to be able to go to a tax professionals. Doing taxes for them. And what happens is when you go through the IRS volunteer service, it's they'll teach you. They'll give you a course, and so it's run by 2 main programs. It's run by the Volunteer Income Tax Assistance, which is the VITAR, Volunteer Income Tax Assistance, or there's the Tax Counseling for the Elderly, which is the TCE. That's a program for the elderly. And so what happens is, and it's I believe it's in every state in the US. And so what I'll do is I'll give you a link on this video about how to start as a tax volunteer for the as a program that the IRS offers for you to start volunteering. What happens is they'll give you all the training. They'll give you all the training resources. They'll help you start to help somebody. And you start with like small, simple, very simple tax returns, and then you have somebody who's helping you, guiding you, and you're taking all this you're taking all this training and stuff. And so what happens is when you start to do this, you're pretty much starting to build your resume. And so you can start with the IRS volunteer service program and then maybe move to a retail setting. A retail setting, what do I mean by a retail setting? So we have so many tax prep services. what you would call the mama and papa shops. There's a lot of them. H&R Block, Jackson Hewitt, and this, so this retail, it's a retail setting. So you'll find them in like stores, like you go to Walmart, you'll find during the tax season. And the tax season is mainly between January to April. So the taxes are due April 15th. But then, so some of these jobs are temporary, but some of them are full time. So they can, because not everybody files by April 15th. Some people extend their taxes and they're due, October. And so this it could be a seasonal job. It could be also a full-time job. So to work in those retail settings, so this is a step removed from the volunteer service. So here they pay you actually when you get to work for like Jackson Hewitt or H&R Block. And I just took a couple positions like the H&R Block offers. So there's like the tax preparer assistant. Tax preparer assistant doesn't prepare any taxes. They pretty much welcome the customer when they come in to get their returns prepped, and they can either key in, enter the information, and then get them ready to go see the tax preparer, and then kind of help them with their paperwork going out. So this when you're an assistant, you actually don't get to prepare the returns. And so you don't even have to have a degree. You don't have to. It's just an experience in customer service. So there's those positions that are available in the retail setting. So I'll give you a couple links on jobs like the H&R Block, Jackson Hewitt, and so there's those positions that can help you to keep moving up. So you're moving up from maybe a volunteer to you're working in a retail setting to maybe moving to a company like Intuit, TurboTax, where you can be able to work from home, and it pays more. So the higher you go, the more it pays. And then maybe you can turn this around to when you finally have those 3 years of tax experience or working in those tax returns, and you're able to apply to a position like TurboTax. You can take it a bit further. Like TurboTax helps you to prepare to take the enrolled agent exam. Once you have your EA, and I'll also give you a link on that. Once you have your EA, you can open your own business practice, and start preparing taxes for people. So this is something that you can start from today from scratch, and then end up getting your own, end up starting your own career. So people do that. People start their own practices. You don't have to be a CPA. You don't have to start knowing everything. As long as you're willing to learn, as long as you're willing to, as long as you're willing to focus and just work ethic and work, you can turn this into a fully fledged career. So that's a bit about tax prep. And so this is the remote positions that are available, and you can utilize them, whether you want to do them as a part-time or you can do it, on a full-time. So like TurboTax, when I worked as a tax expert, is you could take as much as 60 or 70 hours a week. So it can be a full-time position for you. Hopefully this has been helpful, and let me know if you have any questions. But I think I'll keep doing this. I'll keep plugging along this series and talking about some of the remote positions that are available. And as usual, I give you the resources, I give you the links on the descriptions in the videos. If thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for watching me. Thank you for your likes, your comments. I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Thank you.